Good morning and welcome to NewsWare's Trade Talk for Tuesday, August 11th. Okay, let's get into the action. The S&Ps, we're up 0.13%. We've been up about 0.2% all morning. We pulled back a little bit, but still looks positive for the morning because there's been a lot of positive announcements after the close yesterday from big tech, which is really kind of helping the momentum today. Oil prices are the negative. They are climbing. You get that Middle East stalemate. That's the key catalyst, and oil prices are pushing higher this morning. Got a key inflation report due out tomorrow. That could cause some afternoon weakness. But on the economic calendar today, you got the existing home sales reports. Might be a little negative, but it's been negative for the last few months. In corporate news, NVIDIA announced a $500 billion AI financing partnership. Intel increased the size of its stock offering to $20 billion. OpenAI buys back $7 billion of employee shares in a tender offer. And GM is selling half of its planned battery venture to Samsung SDI for $3.5 billion. On the earnings front, we're seeing positive action in CAH, Cardinal Health, eToro, ETOR, and LEGN, Legend Bio. They're all moving higher. On the downside, you got HIMS, you got Owen, and Rocket Labs, RKLB. After the bell today, you got Kava, you got CoreWeave, and SMCI coming out. Tomorrow morning, you got NBIS, Brinker International, ticker EAT, Elvis, Apple, Tom, and Beta, BETA, scheduled to report. Taking a look over to Europe. Now, this is interesting because the European shares were weakening all morning long, but now they're trading higher. You got the DAX up 74 points, or 0.28%. You got the FTSE trading higher by, 6 points or 0.06%. Energy and mining stocks are pushing higher, and the CAC in Paris is up 0.05%. So that's all kind of positive. We're seeing some gains there in energy stocks. You're looking over at Asia last night. In Asia, number one, the Nikkei was closed. It had a holiday. But Hong Kong was down 1.10%, pressured by weakness in tech shares. And then China was down 32 points or 0.82%, with AI-related names moving lower, which they were really saying mainly is profit-taking. Then you look at oil this morning, and oil is trading. Oil is now flat. You got WTI at $82.26, up 0.16%, and Brent is $87.63. Up about lower by about 0.05%. So you are seeing mixed action in oil this morning, but we were seeing oil at like $84 a barrel earlier for WTI, so it has been pulling back a little bit. API data, American Petroleum Institute, that data is going to be is due out today after the close. And let's turn the page and let's look at our earnings action. We got to start off with Cardinal Health, ticker CAH, Charlie, Apple, Henry. I mean, they beat by 18 cents. They did it on lower revenue. Stocks trading higher this morning. ESLT, that's eBet Systems. You look at the stock, it's down 7.39%, although they beat by 46 cents on higher revenue. After the bell today, you got CoreWeave. Their EPS is for a loss of $1.17. Expected move is 13.12%. You got Kava. Their EPS is 17 cents. Expected move is 13.40% when they release today after the bell. An economic report, the key economic report today is the existing home sales report. In terms of FANG stock news, Apple is still planning to offer a glass-centric iPhone in 2027. Google is under, watch by the French government. French government is complaining about the AI summary articles. Remember, they got those laws that anything that's published in French, in France, has to be published in French. And so by doing AI summaries, that kind of creates an issue for them. Tesla's recalling 20,000 U.S. vehicles over excessively bright low-beam headlights. In terms of Dow Jones 30 news, IBM partners with global financial giants to mobilize more than $500 billion for AI infrastructure. Goldman Sachs leads that $152 million investment round for Swiss biotech Vadries. Chevron trading higher as oil prices continue to move higher. What do we got? Merger news. eToro. This is interesting. eToro is acquiring Trade Zero for up to $231 million, and with plans to expand in the U.S. GameStop's their buyout offer in eBay. It looks like it's going to get pulled. Looks like GameStop is tired of waiting around for eBay to make a decision. Cardinal Health, CAH, they raised their full year 2027 EPS to $12.40 to $12.60. Street estimate is $12.05. We got Upwork, UPWK. They cut their full year 2026 EPS to $1.38 to $1.43. Street estimate's $1.54. That's a nice downtick. Buyback news, Cardinal Health, CAH, their board approved a $5 billion incremental repurchasing authorization. In terms of Catalyst Corps, Biomea Fusion, BMEA, they were added to the Citibank 90-day positive catalyst watch list. And MDB, MongoDB, also added to Citi's 90-day positive catalyst watch list. Okay, now we're going to move on, and we're going to talk about our pick of the day. And I'm going with Liquida Corporation, LQDA, Larry Quinton, David Apple. I mean, earnings are tomorrow morning. EPS is 70 cents. Expected move is 12.58%. Yesterday's call volume, 5,191 calls to 2,101 puts. That's a put-call ratio of 0.40 in the sweet spot. Open interest, 130K to 51K. Like that, too. Major brokers aren't raising price targets on LQDA. That's nice. I could see some morning weakness here. I got a feeling it could, we could push to 88.50. So I'm going to say, anywhere between 88.50 and 89 is my entry price. Let's say 88.75. That's my entry price for the stock. But I think if it hits there, we'll see a positive earnings report, which will cause that stock to move higher. And, 12% move higher, that's possible. So, yeah, LQDA, that's my pick of the day. Larry Quinton, David Apple. Okay, let's move on. Let's talk about the news it's hitting the tape in the last 15 minutes or so. Aurora Cannabis, looks like they're going to get a bid to be taken over. U.S. and Iran near arrangement, says Pakistan defense minister. That's why oil pulled down. ADP data showed U.S. private hiring slowed for the 6th straight week. YGE announces a $2.6 billion financing agreement with affiliates Apollo Sports. IBM, Together AI, signed an agreement to scale open source AI inference with NVIDIA. Goldman Sachs warns AI investment may be crowding out other business spending. Yeah, that's true. I've been saying that for a while. SpaceX signs a launch contract with VinSpace. Domino's Pizza announced a new pizza. They call it a Domino. It's an individual pizza. They needed to kind of refresh that menu and offer something new. So that's a plus for Domino's. Vive Systems, VEEV, Eli Lilly committed to using the Vive Vault CRM globally. Beyond Meat, BYND is doing a 1-for-30 reverse stock split. Let's see what else we got here. That's all I'm seeing this morning. Okay, let's move on to our pick of the day from yesterday, which was ticker CAH, Cardinal Health, Charlie Apple Henry. I mean, listen, the stock opened up at $236.32, and then it fell. It fell to $235. Remember, yesterday, $235 was my entry point. So it fell right to that entry point. Then it popped higher, and it actually hit $239.30 during the trading day. This morning, it's already at 241.09. So, yeah, 1% was definitely there a couple of different ways. But you got to appreciate Cardinal Health, CAH. That was a winner yesterday. It was a winner. All right, traders, that concludes today's NewsWare's Trade Talk podcast. You guys know what to do. Let's go out there and make some green.